Welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Statistics and Data Science. This is Rishikesh Kadam, and in this tutorial we are going to see how we identify the null values and how to replace it. First of all, we are going to see how to deal with null values. First of all, we are going to import the pandas library as a PD and numpy library as a NP. After that, let's execute our command line. So here we are going to make a data frame of 3 columns. First column is name, second column is science, and third is maths. The basically name column consists of the name of 4 different students, and here we provide 2 null values inside the science column. So let's execute our command line. You can see we got 2 null values inside the science column. After that, we are going to check the null values in our data frame. For that, we have to use this function is null. Is it any null value is present in our data? So we have to just use this function df.isNull. So let's execute our command line. So you can see that time you can get when is it the entry will be null, then that time here we can see true. So here we specify true as a null. So this is the procedure or command to check the null values in our data frame. To check number of null values in the column wise using column wise null values, that time you have to just use df.isNull, and you have to just specify function is sum dot sum. So let's execute our command line. So you can see name column having 0 null values, science column having 2 null values, maths also having 0 null values. So after that we are going to fetch only null data from the science column. So for that we have to just specify our original data frame. Inside that we are going to obtain our science column, and dot we are going to use is null function again. So let's execute our command line. You can see only we get the null value data. So after that, so we use to obtain not null values. So here we use not null function df dot not null. That time you can get all the values as a true, but the entries where we have null value is we see here is a false. We get it as a false. So this is the procedure to obtain the or identify the null values. After that we are going to replace the null values using different method. First of all, we are going to replace the null value using forward fill method. That time you have to specify df.fill_na, and inside that method will be ffill, that is forward fill. So let's execute our command line. You can see the null value will be filled by the previous observation. So here we can see here we have null values, but it is filled by 80, that is previous observation 80. And here we have null values in our data frame, but it is filled by the previous value 68. So you can see here the previous value, that is this null value is filled by 68, that is previous value, and this null value is filled by 80, that is here this method is called as a forward fill method. And after that we are going to use backward fill method. For that we have to just specify the function fill_na. Inside that method will be fill. So let's execute our command line. In this method we are going to fill the null value using the next value. Here we fill this null value using the next observation, that is 68. But here we got null value because we do not have any observation next to that. That's why we got null here. So this is the two methods to fill the null values, that is backward fill and forward fill. After that we are going to replace all the null values with 0. That time you have to just specify df.fill_na. Inside that we have to specify 0. So let's execute our command line. All the null values are replaced by 0. You can see here 0 and again here 0. So after that we are going to replace all the null values by averaging the data frame. For that we have to use df.fill na, and inside that np.mean bracket df, the mean of all the data frame. So let's execute our command line. So we have mean as 74, so null values are filled by 74, you can see here. So after that we are going to use another method, that is interpolate method. Replace missing values with interpolate method. It is useful when data is time series or having some trend. It will replace values based on trend of the data. So let's execute our command line. You can see here in the output our null values will be filled by two different numbers. Here null values filled by 74 and here will be filled by 68. So this is the required method to fill null values of our data. How we identify the null values and how to replace the null value. So you can use these different methods for that. So thank you all of you. Please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to get notification of my new videos.